Good afternoon, students. Last time we discussed about fermenter configuration and design. What is a fermenter? It is a large vessel provided with all necessary requirements to carry out the production of a commercially valuable product using microorganisms. Okay. So last time we discussed about fermenter configuration and design. Today we are going to discuss in detail about the fermentation equipments, that is different parts of a fermenter. Okay, so today see, most of the fermentations are aerobic, and in that case we need to add air or oxygen into the medium. So we need a device, we need an equipment, we need an attachment with the help of which we can pass oxygen or air inside the fermenter. Okay, then when we pass air or when we mix microorganism, we also need a mixing device. So all these devices are important parts of the fermenter. So today we are going to discuss about the mixing device, that is agitator or impeller. We are going to discuss about aeration device, that is called as air sparger. Okay, and baffles, right? Then inoculation point, sampling point. Then we have to also discuss about pH control, temperature control, antifoam agent, that we will discuss in next lecture. So today we are going to discuss about agitation, then aeration device, baffles, okay, inoculation port and sampling port, right? Let us proceed now. First, let us understand what are the materials that are used for constructing a fermenter. Whatever material you use for constructing or the fabrication material of a fermenter should have certain characteristics. Number one, it should be non-corrosive. It should not produce any toxic substances into the fermentation medium. It should tolerate steam sterilization process. It should be able to withstand high pressure that develops inside the vessel. It should also be able to resist pH changes. And most of the time, the fabrication material that is used for constructing a fermenter depends upon the product that we are producing. Say for example, if we are producing wine or ale or beer, then fermenters are made up of wooden material. But depending upon the type of fermentation product, a fermentation vessel may be made up of iron or copper or glass or stainless steel. Okay, so that most of the time the fermenters are coated with epoxy or glass linings or stainless steel linings, depends upon our requirement. Okay, now a fermenter should be such that it provides the facility to control and monitor various parameters that are required for a successful fermentation process. So it may be made up of steel or iron with steel coating like this shown in the figure. It may be made up of glass depending upon what product we are producing and in how much quantity we are producing. It may be a large scale fermenter made up of copper as shown in the figure. Okay, now let us discuss one by one about various parts, important parts. The first is, when most of the fermentation media that is to be added, something we add into the medium, then we take the substrate or the raw material, then we add certain antifoam agent, or we may be adding certain intermediate nutrients, we inoculate. So everything whatever we add, if we are blowing air inside the vessel, whatever we add needs to be mixed properly. So how mixing is done in a fermenter? So the first important part is impeller or agitator. An agitator is a mixing device. Agitator or impeller is a mixing device used for proper mixing of the fermentation medium, oxygen, whatever you are adding. Okay, what does an agitator consist of? An agitator consists of a long, straight, strong shaft. Okay, an agitator consists of strong and straight shaft. Shaft is nothing but a rod to which impellers are fitted. Impellers. All of you use mixer grinder at your home, and at the bottom you can see a blade sort of a thing which will cut your food item and crush it. Okay, similarly impellers are nothing but blades. Okay, so agitator consists of a strong straight shaft or rod to which impeller blades are fitted. What does an impeller consist of? Impeller consists of a circular disc to which are fitted blades with bolts. Okay, now the shaft or the rod fitted with the impeller passes through the bearing in the lid of the fermenter. Okay, so the shaft passes through the middle of the lid. Lid means cover of the fermenter, right? And the rod enters inside. The rod is fitted at intermittent places with the impeller. Impellers are nothing but disc with blades, right? Now how it is rotated? It is rotated with the help of a electrically driven motor which is mounted on the top of the fermenter. Above the fermenter lid, a motor is there. It is electrically operated, and when you put on the electricity, the motor will rotate the shaft and the impellers will rotate and mix everything which is present inside the vessel. The speed of the agitator can be changed with the help of adjustable pulleys. Right. What is the important function of the impeller? To mix. What is the important function of the impeller? To mix microorganism, media, oxygen, everything. Impeller blades also reduce the size of the air bubble. Whatever air through the air sparger, air enters inside the vessel and the bubbles are broken down, and even distribution of air bubbles evenly throughout the medium takes place because of the impeller. Impeller also help in breaking the foam bubbles that may rise in the headspace of the fermenter. Okay, so mixing of microorganism, oxygen, medium, breaking the bubble, etc. is all done by the impeller. So here in this diagram, this is actually an impeller, and there is a hole in the center. Through this hole, a shaft passes inside. Okay, so now in the second diagram, you can see this is a motor. This is a shaft to which the impeller blades are attached, right? So this is about agitator. So you can see here an agitator. This is an impeller blade. This is a shaft or a rod that passes through the lid of the fermenter. There is a hole in the lid of the fermenter, and on the top of the fermenter there is a motor which rotates it because of electric current. Okay, so you can see there are different types of agitators shown here. They are of various types depending upon how many blades are present, how do they operate, okay, how arrangement is there. They are of disc turbine type, okay, van disc turbine, various pitch, marine impellers, etc. Okay, so these are the various types of agitators. If you look through the fermenter vessel, you can see here you can see this in the second diagram. This is the inside of the vessel. Okay, this is a shaft. This is a shaft or a rod, and you can see here look at this diagram, first diagram. You are able to see the lid of the fermenter. Okay, above the lid there is a motor which is fitted above the lid, and the motor rotates. In the second diagram, you can see a long shaft which is passing inside. You can see here all coils and all, heating coils and all. So this is a rod or shaft, and these are the impeller blades that you can see, which actually cut and mix all the ingredients. So if you look inside the fermenter, the second diagram is showing you inside of the fermenter with impeller blades placed at equal spaces, right? So when you look down. So what is the role of an agitator? Bulk, fluid and gas mixing, air dispersion, oxygen transfer and mixing, even heat transfer, suspension of solid particles, maintenance of uniform environment throughout the vessel. Okay. Now this is about the impeller. Now when we are carrying out mixing of the fermentation medium along with microorganisms, air bubbles, etc. at a very high speed. So when the impeller blades are rotated at a very high speed, the liquid medium is thrown up towards the wall of the fermenter. When the liquid medium is thrown towards the wall of the fermenter, it results in vortex formation. Now this vortex formation has to be controlled, checked. This problem of vortex formation is controlled or overcome by 4 equally spaced baffles attached to the walls of the fermenter. Okay, so let us now discuss about baffles. So what are baffles? They are mounted on the walls of a fermenter. What is the function of the baffle? To break the vortex that is formed during rapid agitation process by the impellers. If the vortex is not broken, fermentation media may spill out. It will come out of the fermenter and will result in contamination problem and other problems also. So it is important to break the vortex that is formed because of rapid mixing. Okay, so there is a barrier. So baffles are like walls or barriers which break the vortex. Baffle act as barriers which break the vortex. Generally there are 4 equally spaced baffle walls, okay, to prevent vortex formation. But in some vessels 6 to 8 baffles may be used. What are baffles? They are actually metal strips, roughly 1/10 of the vessel diameter, attached radially inside of the fermenter. Agitation effect increased with wider baffles and cooling coils are attached to these baffles. So in this diagram you can see a vessel, the one where I have shown blue color, this blue color, this is a baffle wall. This is a baffle wall. So usually there are 4 equally spaced baffles. If you look inside the vessel, there may be 6 to 8 depending upon the condition, depending upon the diameter of the vessel. And what is the role of the baffle walls? To break vortex that is formed during mixing. Okay. If baffle walls will not be there, then the vortex formed will rise to the top of the fermenter, will spill out of the vessel and it will cause contamination. So baffles are necessary to break the vortex, to control the vortex formation. The third part is air sparger. What is a sparger? It is an aeration device through which sterile air is introduced into the fermentation tank. So what is a air sparger? Aeration device through which sterile air is introduced into the fermentation tank. Generally, spargers are located at the bottom of the fermentation tank. Glass wool filter are used in a sparger for sterilization of air. Okay, we have studied how air is sterilized by filtration. So generally glass wool filters are used. The spargers are actually having pipes with holes. Okay, so sparger is like a pipe, maybe circular or maybe rod like, and it is having holes of say size about 5 to 10 millimeter. Through all these small holes, air under pressure or pressurized air is released into the aqueous fermentation medium. Okay, the air is released in the form of tiny bubbles. These air bubbles help in mixing. Okay, so I will show you by drawing a diagram here. If this is a fermentation vessel, okay, spargers are present at the bottom of the vessel. Okay, spargers are present at the bottom of the vessel. So generally spargers located at the bottom of the vessel. They are like pipes having holes, and through this hole air enters inside the vessel in the form of tiny air bubbles. There are 3 basic types of spargers: porous sparger, orifice sparger and nozzle sparger. Porous sparger means the material from which it is made up of is porous, and through the pores air enters inside the vessel. Orifice sparger are having holes facing upward or orifices may be facing downwards. Okay, and sometimes the nozzle spargers are used. It's a closed pipe and with very high pressure the air enters inside. Sometimes some vessels are not provided with sparger. We have impeller air injection. That means through the agitator shaft or rod air is forced inside and the impeller blades are having holes. So through the shaft of the agitator itself air is put in, and Sparger, there is no separate sparger. Through the rod we put in the air, and through the impeller blades or holes in the impeller blade, the air bubbles are released inside the medium. So let us discuss one by one various spargers. This is a ring sparger. Okay, you can see ring with holes. This is a straight pipe sparger, which we generally see in orifice spargers. Okay, this is a diffuser that we see in a nozzle type sparger. Okay, so this is how gas enters inside and liquid air is mixed in the form of bubbles with the liquid. Nozzle sparger is a single open or partially closed pipe. It is kind of a pipe sparger to provide a stream of air bubbles. Okay, now ideally it is placed centrally below the impeller as far as away possible to ensure that impeller is not flooded with the air stream. Then orifice sparger, you can see in this diagram, there are holes in the pipes, and through these holes air enters inside. Sometimes the holes are facing upwards, but when you are carrying out a fermentation with fungi, then the pores, if they are facing upward, may get blocked because of fungal mycelium. So in that case, the orifices, that is the holes, face downwards. Okay, so holes are piped with holes. Okay, then there are porous spargers. They are generally made up of sintered glass or ceramics or metals. They are usually used in laboratory scale non-agitated vessels. Okay, you can see here in the diagram porous spargers. Sometimes we use impeller air injection. Okay, that is combined sparger agitator. Right, on a small scale, when we do not use an air sparger, air can be introduced via hollow agitator shaft and emitted through the holes drilled in the blades, that is impeller. Is that clear? In this case, look at the last button point. In this case, air is introduced via hollow agitator shaft, comes out through the holes drilled in the disc between the plate connected to the base of the main shaft. The disc design gives a good aeration in baffled vessels over a range of agitator speeds. Okay. So this is combined agitation aeration, where the impellers are having holes through which air can be put inside the vessel. So this is about a impeller air injection. Okay. What is the function of a sparger? How it is designed? It provides a stream of air bubbles. Air is put in the vessel in the form of a stream of air bubbles. What we have to take care of is sparger should be far below the impeller or agitator to avoid flooding of impeller with stream of air bubbles. The sparger causes a low pressure loss than other spargers, and they are not easily blocked. In small fermenters, we can use combined sparger agitator. Right. So that is all about impellers or agitators, then use of baffles, and then aeration device, which we call as spargers. Okay. So what we have to remember is sparger may be porous, sparger may be orifice sparger. Okay. Orifice spargers are generally used. The orifices are the holes which are drilled in the rod or a pipe. The orifice may be facing upwards or it may be facing downwards if we are using fungi for production. Okay, now let us consider or let us discuss about inoculation port. What is inoculation port? Is a device from which inoculum or microorganism is added into the fermentation tank. Okay, what we have to take care that the inoculation port should always be sterile. Okay, it provides, you have to add the culture or inoculum into the medium under aseptic condition. So it should be sterile, it should not be contaminated, and it should be easy for us to sterilize the inoculation port, because through the inoculation port contamination may take place. So you have to keep it sterile, it should be easy to sterilize, and it is a point from where we add inoculum or microorganism into the vessel. Every vessel should be provided with a sampling point. Why? Because we need to withdraw samples during the course of fermentation from time to time. Okay, so that we can monitor whether the product is produced in how much quantity and not. So we need a sampling point, and the sampling point should provide aseptic, non-contaminated withdrawal of sample, right? So that is all about the parts. Next time we will discuss the remaining parts.